doing a shot that Mark's been working out. We'll just go and have a look, and he's going to draw you a mud map and show you about it.
Okay, well the shot I'm talking about doing is curving a bullet. There's no magic to this sort of stuff. There's no Hollywood with flicking the wrist or any magic tricks involved. Essentially, a bullet is going to travel straight unless there's other forces involved. So the bullet's tumbling or rotating or got dags on it, things that'll cause it to fly erratic through the air, then yes, it can swirl around and do different things, but otherwise it'll go where it's sent until other energies applied to it. So there's two main energies we normally have to deal with. One is gravity. It's always pushing down on things, so that's why a bullet will curve into the ground and have an arc into the ground. And the other one is wind. So essentially wind, the moving force of air that the bullet's travelling through, will affect a bullet. People think that a larger bullet or a smaller bullet are more affected. It's not really the case. The simple thing is the faster the bullet travels, the less it's affected, but it's still affected. It's simply a matter of time that it's sitting in an airflow pushing sideways is going to move it sideways. Not about the size of the bullet, about simply it's travelling through moving air. So, to what I want to do to prove that and to show that is, and I'll draw a little mud map so it sort of makes some sense. If you come down to the ground, Sam,
Yep.
Is if we essentially have a target we're going to shoot at, and we are the shooter sitting over here, which is shooting, and I want to show that we can actually get a curve around to the target. And the curve will do that. It'll tend to curve less while it's travelling fast, and as the bullet slows down it'll curve more. To prove that, I'm going to put an obstacle in the middle of our target, set up so that essentially the line of sight to the shooter cannot see the target. And to make that all work so we can actually do it without guesswork or not knowing what we've done, even if we can set it all up and shoot to the right place, we don't know what we've done until we go and do it, is going to be to set up where Sam, the spotter, is looking at an angle where she can actually see past our back wall or past the thing that's blocking our line of sight and actually see the target. So she'll be sitting over to the side. We'll use radio so she can call me. I think we've got around 80 to 100 yards we need in the way of distance between the spotter and the shooter. And we're going to be out to get a decent curve. I want to end up where I've got 1.5 to 2.5 feet of movement over the last sort of 80 yards of travel. And to do that, I'm going to be shooting out at around 1,500 yards with a 308 bullet. But essentially, our shooter, the rifle, and the target will not be able to see each other. And we'll see how that goes. So we're about to set that up this afternoon, and tomorrow morning when we should have reasonably high winds, we're hoping to see ground winds of up around the 8 to 10, maybe even 15 miles an hour, and our high level winds of up to the 25 miles an hour. And with those conditions, I think we'll be able to pull it off. But anyway, that's our starting point. We'll go and set our target up. We've got the long range camera set up here from exactly behind the rifle, so you can see exactly where the rifle's shooting from. So down here, I'll just zero this across. Okay, so down here you can see the long range target, or you can see the top half of it. So that's not the target, that's actually the backboard or the temporary wall we've got there. And behind it is where the target is. So I'll just come back out now so you can actually see a little bit clearer. There's a lot of mirage on this sort of day, and one of the bad things of shooting in good wind with decent temperature is you're going to get a lot of mirage. Come back out a little clearer, but essentially from back over here, which is at the 1,500 plus yards, is where we're shooting. Okay, well I think we'll go and check Sam. That last one you couldn't see anything. We saw the dust before. I think that must be about spot on. We'll go and have a look.
Okay, well that's it.
Heading down to our target area now. This is where the backboard is set up in front of the target. Excuse my bouncy footsteps. And you can see we had a metal plate, actually one of our steel targets in front there, that was protecting the camera on the other side, which was set up to view our target down there. And there's our target with a hit on it back there. And I'll just see if I can give you an idea of our shooting location. It's actually, difficult to see, it's on the hill beyond there. You can actually see.
We're at the target with our nice centre hit. That's a really good hit. But we'll just go to the iPhone and verify our range. It was a fair way out to do this. There we go. 1,540 yards. We'll just turn back around. There's our board. I'll try and give you a perspective of where we're actually shooting from. This is just to the side of the target, but essentially from over here about a foot to the side, you'd just be able to see the side of where we were shooting, just on the horizon, or the crest of the hill up there. The trees are over behind, but that's just over the side here is where you would just be able to see the side of me, the shooter, and out about 80 yards in the middle of the paddock is where Catherine was set up as the spotter. But anyway, we pulled it off. That's how to curve a bullet for real. The Remington 700 308. I'm not using anything exotic in the way of ammo. I'll just grab one of those rounds for you to have a look at. So what actually is the gold medal target 308 175 grain round, which is factory ammo, but it's a good target round. There's the box of it, which, like I said, is the gold medal federal premium ammo. And I've actually got as well just one of the rounds, just one of the bullets themselves. So you can actually see there's nothing special, there's nothing flashy. There's a nice bullet, full metal jacket with a very small hollow point in it, but that is the 175 grain round that we're using. Anyway, we'll go up over here and we'll go to over where Sam was shooting from. That's where Sam was spotting from. That's her spotting scope. Halfway over here, if you have a look, I'll just stop and so you can see, you'll be able to see probably around about half of the target. So down there, if you can see in behind there, there's half of the target that's behind. So you can see it's over here, that's about sort of 40 yards down the track. You can start to see it. We'll go right over to where Sam was spotting from. And you'll see when I zoom in from here, over here, which is about 80 yards from where I was actually shooting, you can see the other target. I apologise for the mirage, that is the conditions, but the other target and the flag. So that's what Sam was using as where she was getting her calls from. Still very hard to see, very hard to spot, very hard to hold the camera still too. But that's essentially what we were using, and that's the angle differences between the spotter and while we're using radio between me and her to make the calls and to be able to get on target. So I obviously did this later on when we were going through the process of looking at our footage. The wind was just too loud, you really couldn't hear anything. So I've just come back and done this inside, so with on a microphone, so you can actually hear all the things that I was saying. But really what we're going through here is trying to explain and trying to show how we're actually showing that the bullet does curve.